You know, I love everything about the Christmas season, but there's one thing I've never been a big fan of. And what do you think that is? Taking down the Christmas decorations. I just hate to see that happen. You know, the decorations here in church, they just make the church so warm and so cozy, and it's so cold outside. I would imagine when you had the decorations up at your house, it just made your living room, where all the places where the decorations are located, so nice and warm and cozy, and it's cold outside. It's just perfect. Now what happens is the Feast of the Epiphany marks the official end of the Christmas season in the Catholic Church. So tomorrow morning, right after the 11 o'clock Mass, a bunch of volunteers are going to show up, and we're unfortunately, and I say that word with bold letters, unfortunately we're going to take down all the Christmas decorations. I just see that as such a bummer. So when you walk into the church next Saturday night, it's going to be stark in church and cold, and probably still cold outside. Now, when we take down the Christmas decorations and we put them in a box, those are artificial, we put them on a shelf. When we take Christ that's in a manger and put Christ inside a box and put Christ onto a shelf, you have to ask yourself the question, but how do I keep the spirit of Christmas alive in my heart? How do I keep Christ alive in my heart when all the sights and sounds and remembrances of Christmas, they're all put away? It takes one very important item that we all have to have, and we're in charge of this individually, to make sure we do this to keep Christ alive in our hearts, Christmas alive in spirit, despite the fact that all the decorations will be taken down. Does anyone know what it takes to keep Christ in our lives and in our hearts and the Christmas spirit alive in our homes, in our church? Any idea? Love is one thing. It definitely takes love. I'm going to give you a little hint. It starts in this one word in order to make sure that Christ is always in your life, always in your heart, always in our church, always in your home. The Christmas spirit continues to exist throughout the course of the year. It's one word, and it starts with the letter I. Any idea what it takes? It starts with the letter I. Now, maybe the cold outside has gotten to you. But it starts with the letter I. If you do this and you make this a part of your life, Christ will always be a part of your life. Let's take a look at the word I'm looking for. It takes initiative. If I want Christ alive in my heart and in my home, I got to take initiative. I got to wake up in the morning and say, Christ, I want you a part of my life today as I travel out into the world. And then I got to meditate on Christ throughout the course of the day. And I got to make sure that Christ is an integral part of my family, an integral part of my home, a part of my church. I have to take initiative. If I don't take initiative, which is to be a self-starter, if I don't have that feeling of being initiating something, Christ is not going to be a part of my life if I don't invite him in. It reminds me of this picture. Let's take a look at this picture. And I love this picture. Let's take a look. Now, it's a cozy-looking picture. It's a man sitting on a chair on a rocker in a nice, cozy-looking little cabin. And there it is. There's Jesus knocking on a door. And this, I believe, is one of the messages of the Feast of the Epiphany. Now, as you look upon that picture, there's something definitely missing in that picture. Take a look. Does anyone notice what is missing in that picture? Exactly right. Someone said it right over here. Take a look at that picture, and it looks like a perfect picture, but we're going to focus on the door. And every door has two knobs, one on the inside and one on the outside. And that particular door only has one knob, and the knob is located on the inside where the man is sitting on a chair, looking away. There isn't a knob on the outside where Jesus is knocking on the door. What does that mean? You have to let him in. Jesus never forces himself in your life. He makes the invitation. He knocks on the door. But if there was a knob on his side, and a lot of people do this, if you go to visit someone and you ring the doorbell, you knock on the door, they don't answer, what typically do people do? They try the door. You can hear the thing jiggling, and then you get all scared and look for the gun. But sometimes a person will open up the door and they yell inside, anyone home? Now, Jesus can't do that because there isn't the knob on his side. This is the way he treats all of us. This is how kind and generous he is. He is saying, hopefully that person has the initiative to get off the rocker and invite me into their life and into their home. And that's what he says to us tonight. Every day of our lives, Jesus knocks on our door, the door of our heart, the door of our home, the door of our church. And he just stands there and waits. He makes the invitation. And sometimes people don't let him in, but he just keeps standing there. Sometimes, hopefully most of the time, people do let him in. But that's the message of the Feast of the Epiphany. As we put away the Christmas decorations, and perhaps you've done that already in your homes, as we do that tomorrow after 11 o'clock Mass here at St. Margaret Mary, always remember this, that it takes initiative to have Christ in your life all the time. And for that man inside of that picture, and that man represents every one of us here tonight, Christ knocks, he offers, and he waits for us to get off of our rocker, walk to the door, and invite him in. And hopefully, throughout the course of this year and the rest of your lives, you will always take the time, have the initiative to get up, walk to the door when Christ knocks, and open up the door and say, Christ, come in. I need you to be a part of my life, my home, my heart, my family.